Carnotaurus is a playable I actually enjoy fighting against. I know a lot of players in the official Isle Discord call it inescapable, or impossible to deal with, and I want to clear that up. It can be countered, and today I'll show you how. I'm also working on a full how to counter series for every dinosaur, so please subscribe if you find this useful. Every dinosaur in this game has unique stats and abilities. Carno specializes in hit and run tactics. He has great sprinting speed, mediocre trot speed, bad turning, spectacular stamina, average damage and defense. The main thing to remember is, Carnotaurus is at its strongest when it runs in a straight line. If you force it to turn a lot, you take away most of its power. The best thing about Carnotaurus that makes it easier than average to play is his ability to choose fights. If the Carno doesn't want to fight, it has enough agility and durability to completely avoid the fight, which makes it one of the most entertaining carnivores to play, in my opinion at least. Please keep in mind that if you're a juvenile dinosaur, you're already in danger by all adult carnivores, so this is majorly for those who are able to bleed the Carno out or are awaiting teammate arrival. So the following tips will be mostly regarding stalling and potentially making them lose track of you. Now let's talk about the weaknesses. 1. Carnos have a really weak blood capacity. They bleed out extremely fast. 2 Tenno kicks can leave Carno at around 40%, where it leaves the Cerato at around 70%. If you're playing a dinosaur that relies on bleed, you already have an upper hand whilst fighting Carnos. You have to apply bleed and stall, and we'll talk about stalling later. 2. Carnos have one of the slowest swim speeds in the game. Shout out to Infosaurus for the chart, and as you can see, Carno is placed extremely low on this list. If you're gonna get killed by a Carno, and there's a nearby river, chances are there may be no dinos and you cross it successfully, where the Carno would struggle following. And since you can camp at the edge of the water, or easily cross back again, you have an opportunity to increase distance between you two. Carno may be one of the fastest on land, but it is one of the slowest in water. 3. Carnos have below average trot speed. If one of them is heavily pressured by bleed or is low on stamina, they will have to resort to trotting, and a lot of creatures tend to out-trot a Carnotaurus, such as a Ceratosaurus, Omniraptor, Carnotaurus, and a few more. Lastly, Carnos have a great slide, but they have a bad sprinting turn and bad acceleration. If you consistently run around a Carnotaurus, they will struggle a lot more catching up to you. Carno wins through momentum, however, accelerating to good momentum takes time. If you force them to turn, reposition, or slow down, they lose the advantage completely. A mistake players often make while facing a Carnotaurus is fighting on open ground. Places like plains are like the home field advantage to Carnos. If you want to take one of these beasts on, you need to make sure you do it in either forests where they can bump into trees, hills where they can launch downhill, cliffs where they fall to their doom, or bushes where they have no idea what they're charging into. What I basically mean is, anything that isn't flat open ground is a disadvantage for Carnos. Your goal is to force the Carno to adjust its path. Every adjustment costs time and control, and their slow turn speed make it incredibly frustrating for them to navigate through dense forest, and their sliding makes it terrifying to stop at cliffs before falling to death. These are basic terrain requirements for you to successfully take on a Carno, but we're not finished. If there are no nearby trees, cliffs, or rocks, look for bushes. Any kind of bush that will make a big enough barricade of line of sight will be your ticket to dodging those charges. However, keep in mind that this simple strategy doesn't work all the time. If your dinosaur has loud footsteps, or if you turn within the bush which makes rustling sounds, it will indicate the direction that you just turned, which ruins the whole point of the bush. So, when you're using bushes, think more about confusion than speed. However, if your footsteps are loud enough to be heard, you're either a good opponent for Carno, or you're a Dilo at daytime. If it's the second option, remember that your turn speed isn't the best either. So you need to utilize your venom and make the Carno blind. Send clones, make sharp turns. If the Carno stops to turn right after you, the clones will catch up and deal damage. Let's say you don't have bushes either. Even though being caught like this isn't really the best scenario, you still have hope. But keep in mind, this is where a lot of players fail. They forget about one factor that snaps all Carno ankles: unpredictability. Yes, if you go straight, you take the hit. If you make a slow and obvious turn, you take the hit. So what you need to do is constantly have the Carno doubting. Fake your turns. Play mind games. For example, begin turning left, let the Carno commit, then snap right instantly. The goal is to keep the Carno guessing wrong. These mind games really mess with Carno's charge, and if you get good at them, you'll see the difference. You won't be just an easy prey anymore. Also, remember that tail hits do around 3 kilograms of damage, which is absolutely nothing unless you're a Hipsy. So, if you get hit on the tail, don't panic, you're doing good. Keep in mind, Carno isn't broken. It significantly punishes panic. So, stay calm, control your ground, and never forget to constantly fake your directions. And if you're small enough to be knocked down and killed by a Carno, please don't go complaining in the Discord. Watch your surroundings and stay alert, because at the end of the day, best way to avoid any dinosaur is to be aware of its existence before it's aware of yours. This was how to counter a Carno. Hope you enjoyed. Comment your thoughts, I genuinely enjoy discussing things. And again, I'm gonna make this into a series, so please subscribe. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. And then just run past. Oh! No, I said like... I meant hit her and run past. Yeah, no worries.
Ow.
Wait, what?
What's up? I'm almost 50 kg.
Wait. Oops.